What is going on, Mullen fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. So today I want to give you a good breakdown of what happened with Mullen and potentially how low Mullen could go. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So it did close 9.43% down. Unfortunately, that's not what a lot of people wanted to see. After hours is pretty flat, and it did hit a low today of 20.5 cents. And of course, that might not seem like that big of a deal, but on a technical stance, it's actually pretty big. So when it comes down to it, there was a lot of factors that caused Mullen to be suppressed, one of which is Powell. So good old Powell was talking to Congress today, and over and above that there was this. So this is the whole as far as SEC charges with Mullen Financer, and I think in general that's a pretty big deal. So with 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪, if I'm saying that right, or 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪, so I think at the end of the day, Mullen does have a lot of toxic insiders that they do need to address and really get out. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. When it comes down to a lot of these insiders, unfortunately, there were many of which were kind of pre-existing with net. So when Mullen came into the picture and did the whole reverse merger, they kind of got stuck with a lot of these. But at the end of the day, Mullen hasn't made any attempt to get them out. If anything, they've just been giving them more and more preferred shares to have more and more ammunition. So I think at some stage in the game, it comes down to David. David, why are you not trying to get a lot of these out? So once again, that's just neither here nor there. There was also this prospectus that did come out, so that's definitely causing a little bit more fear, especially based on this section right here. It does show as of March the 2nd, there was 2.2 billion outstanding shares, and based on this right here, so the 13G, which was submitted on March the 1st, that one indicated 1.8. So in the span of roughly about 1 or 2 days, there was about 350 million shares that was diluted. So that's definitely something factoring in. But on a positive note, this week we do have Work Truck Week, and there was actually a lot of good posts about that. So hopefully more does come and develop from that. But based on this as well, so you do see that there was only one transaction on the secondary market, or sorry, dark pool transaction, and that was $123,000. So of course, dark pool is very much linked to short, so I'll give you an update in that in a second. And as far as the secondary market is what typical retail investors do trade on. That is at $275,000. And when it comes down to options, they are actually surprisingly very optimistic, meaning there is a lot of calls being purchased, and calls typically insinuate that the price should in theory go up. And I think in general the next big catalyst is the Work Truck Week, so that's definitely going to be a very, very big catalyst, and especially more so if they do unveil a new product. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But in general, I've gotten a lot of comments saying, why am I still covering Mullen if it has just been going down, that it's a horrible stock, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I do cover Mullen, I actually do really fundamentally like the business. The CEO, David, not so much. I think in general, he's in bed with a lot of these insiders. Of course, that's my own opinion, but I like the product. CEO, like I said, not so much. So I think in general it will work itself out. Of course, in the short term, that's going to cause a little bit more of a continuation of a downtrend and a lot of volatility, but bigger picture, that's where you're going to be making a lot of good money. If even one of the many products that they do have hit a home run, that's where you're going to make a lot of money. But like I said at the beginning, hypothetically, based on the technicals and no emotion or anything aside, how low could Mullen hypothetically go? So with this condition as it stands right now, you really have to look at, for instance, the Fibonacci, because right now it is below a lot of the pivotal moving averages. So in theory, we're kind of in an unknown territory a little bit. We kind of have to look at previous data to kind of give us a good signal on how low it could go. So we already do know it could hit a 18-cent low. So at 18 cents, there is a lot of good support, but from 20 down to 18, what is something for us to really watch for? So like I said, outside of 18 cents, it could hypothetically have a very strong support around this at 14 or almost 15 cents. So I think at the end of the day, it's currently sitting at this S1. So depending on what does happen the following days, it might in fact bounce off of this S1 and trend higher. Of course, with Work Truck Week, there might be some good updates in that regard. But if it does break this point right here, so this is something you really need to watch for. So 20.5 cents, which coincidentally is what we bounce off of today. But if it does break that, anticipate anywhere from around the 15 to 18 cent range. Of course, like I said, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Mullen, which is a pre-production company and pre-revenue company, it has a lot of volatility to it. So you just have to be very comfortable with that and know exactly what the next steps are. And you have to be comfortable with, for instance, dilution and David not being as open and transparent as probably a lot of individuals would like. But once again, it is the fun art of investing. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my Mullen content, want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Mullen.